If you really want to be one of the greats in track and field, winning isn't enough. You have to win big, you have to win often, and you need world records to go along with it. That is what made Usain Bolt so special, because he did all of those things. He essentially had an 8-year stretch of his career where he was perfect. Like, yes, something happened, he had to let you know he was human. But for the most part, he did not lose whenever he was on the track for 8 years straight. And at the World Indoor Championships for 2025, there were actually 2 events on the men's side that were a foregone conclusion before they even started. Because Grant Holloway was going to be there, running in the 60-meter hurdles, which was a shocker because almost nobody else who even had a prayer of beating him, at least outdoors in the 110s, decided to show up to compete in this event. And then you bring up Mondo Duplantis in the men's pole vault, where he's already broken his own world record so many times. Let's be honest, everybody in the competition knew they were vaulting for second place. Allow me to fill you in on how other athletes actually see them, because I've seen quotes as well as talked to athletes. And generally speaking, at least when it comes to Grant Holloway, they all know that he's as close as you're going to get to invincible in the sport of track and field. When it comes to beating Grant, like in a 60-meter hurdles, it's actually never happened. When I say never happened, I mean like never happened. Not just in his pro career, but even in his college career. You gotta go all the way back to the time he was competing in high school to find one person on the face of the earth who can say they actually did a hurdle race against Grant Holloway, indoors in the 60 and beat him. The 110s is still an incredibly short list, but at least somebody can say it happened at least once. And Mondo Duplantis was already so talented when he was in high school that he was the Gatorade National Track and Field Athlete of the Year. That's given to the best athlete across all of the events, and he did it as a pole vaulter. Do you know how impossible it actually is to pull that off? The pole vault is one event. To be the best track and field athlete, you normally got to be good at multiple events. It's why they always give it to sprinters or even distance runners, because they can just rack up a whole bunch of points and a whole bunch of medals because there's multiple events for them to compete in. But Mondo was vaulting so much better than anybody else at the junior level that they said, fine, we'll just give it to him. So going forward in this video, I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm going to do my best to be as truthful as I possibly can, because I admit that I am a part of the problem, because I take their talent for granted. When I say take it for granted, what I mean is I did not make it my business to sit there and watch the hurdle final. I just didn't make it my business because I felt like I already knew how it was going to go. And I wasn't wrong. Grant Holloway won. And I'm going to get to how he won in a moment because it's still worth a story if we want to know what the story actually is. Mondo Duplantis, I at least accidentally got to watch him win the pole vault. But I said accidentally because the pole vault was going on while other sprinting events that I was trying to pay attention to were actually going off. Like the heats were going off, they would cut to the men's pole vault. So I got to watch the man in second place who competes for Greece. I believe his name is Emmanuel Karolis. Please give me grace because I'm trying to pronounce it to the best of my ability. He got second in the event, and I watched him do his clearance because Mondo is human. Like, at the time I was watching, Mondo actually missed the bar. Like, he just actually went up there and happened to hit it. And, again, I might mess up the name, Karolis of Greece. He goes up and he clears that bar. So, because he clears it, and then of course Mondo clears it, they're tied, and now they go to the next height. But if you watch how Karolis actually did his clearance, there was no possible way he was getting the next bar. That was about all he had. And he couldn't just go like a little bit higher, because that's Mondo Duplantis you're competing against. You gotta go to whatever bar Mondo's gonna put out there, because you already got silver, the only thing you can go for is gold. He tried, and he failed. And then Mondo was like, all right, fine then. I'll go 6.15 meters to make it clear I'm the man up here, and that's that. Gold medal goes to him. For the man in second place, he didn't just vault a season best or even a personal best. He put down a brand new national record for Greece, and it didn't matter because he had no possible chance of beating Mondo. That is kinda how the 60 hurdle is when you're racing against Grant Holloway. If you just focus on the clock, just like Mondo, both of them underachieved as far as what their PR/world record performances actually are. Grant Holloway ran 7.27 seconds in the 60 hurdles. That is officially the world record. He ran 7.42 in the final, and he won by a tenth of a second. But any of the times he gave us in the prelims or the semis, because he went faster in every single round, all of those times would have won the final. That is how much better he was than every other competitor. In the track and field community, at least on the internet, people keep saying that they want to find the next Usain Bolt. And now that Gout is the hottest thing out of Australia, people think that he might be the thing they've actually been looking for. But as far as I understand the conversation, the next Usain Bolt isn't just about finding somebody who runs the same events and is incredibly fast. Usain Bolt is special. He's more than special, he's an icon. He transcends the sport of track and field because his name is synonymous with greatness. Everything that goes with it. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, the founder of SCArecruiting.com, where I rank the best track and field recruits across the entire nation. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section because I try to read them all. Like, there's a very short list of athletes who get on that Mount Rushmore. Usain Bolt is going to get it, at least from the last 20 to 30 years in track and field. The guy who culture looks at, I think world culture, not even just like any one nation, identifies with dominance. But Michael Jordan did the same thing in basketball. Again, identified with dominance. The level that they were at, the records they were breaking, and the fact that everybody else who was competing with them knew it was a foregone conclusion you were not going to win. Second place is what you were going for. And you just wanted to make it look interesting. Like, I don't know, make it look like you had a chance. Even though we know, and you know, you ain't going to win. And I'm sorry to inform the entire internet community, the next Usain Bolt is already here. He actually showed up twice in 2 different events. But nobody really seems to care. Because that's what Grant Holloway in the hurdles actually is. He's the closest thing that we're ever going to see to Bolt, probably, in any track event. I just don't see anybody who's going to be able to break world records. Grant Holloway is threatening the world record in the 110 hurdles. Like, he's threatening it really, really hard, but didn't necessarily take it out. But then to win all these world level medals, like, to the point where you show up, we give the gold medal to you, and then we move on. In the 60 hurdles, since he chooses to run it, because a lot of people don't want to run indoors, but when Grant Holloway does it in the 60 hurdles, nobody else has a real excuse not to do it, except for the fact that they know they're not gonna win. That's the only excuse I can come up with to be a pro hurdler who takes yourself seriously, but not go out for the 60 hurdles. It's like, hey, gold is already gone. What's the point? In the 110 hurdles, you gotta try because apparently there's more money outdoors. But it is what it is. And if you're still not convinced, I'm gonna put this part on blast. Grant Holloway isn't just the best hurdler in the world. He's the best track and field athlete. I said track and field athlete that we've ever seen at the NCAA level in the last 20 years or so. I did a video a long time ago on this channel where I literally made like a scoring table, went to Microsoft Excel, took every athlete who'd won the Bowerman Award in NCAA track and field on the men's side. That's basically like track and field version of the Heisman in football. Grant Holloway's on that list of Bowerman Award winners, and I tallied up how great their careers were. It was not close. Because remember, Grant Holloway isn't just a hurdler. He could run on relays. He could run the 100 or 200 if you really wanted him to. He won an NCAA championship indoors in the 60-meter dash without hurdles. I'm not making this up. It actually happened. And he was a long jumper. He high jumped in high school and could have kept doing it if he really wanted to. I'm telling you, it was so not even a debate. And he only competed in college for 3 seasons. And still, he had substantially more points on the table, the way you assign them, than anybody else who competed in college. That's Grant Holloway. Mondo was never going to do that in the pole vault because, like I said, it's just the pole vault. The way you become the greatest of all time in the pole vault, to me, isn't just breaking a world record. It's not even just breaking your own world record. You got to break your own world record a whole bunch of times because that's the standard that's been set in that event. Historically, every generation or so, somebody comes along who's just way better than the rest of the field. They set world records and they just keep moving the bar higher and higher and higher and higher and higher and higher until finally they retire. At that point, we're still waiting around for the next generation, for the next person who can figure out how to go that high. When any athlete is truly dominant in their sport, only one of two things can actually happen. One is that you're so dominant that everybody falls in love with you. People don't even try to root for the field, like anybody in that field. They root for you. Even Tiger Woods in golf looked like that at one point, where if you watched ESPN and saw how SportsCenter would cover his matches, they would say, "Are you taking Tiger or are you taking the field?" Because that's basically how people who were watching it understood it. You were either rooting for Tiger or you weren't rooting for Tiger. That was it. Usain Bolt had that same effect on the entire world, as far as I understand, in track and field. He wasn't just the man from Jamaica. It felt like he belonged to the entire world. That's the level of greatness he had. But the other way it can go is if you don't become like the world's athlete, the one that everybody falls in love with, and I mean everybody, you can have this opposite effect, where to some degree you can almost alienate people from the event, at least in track and field. Because once you get that good, where it's a foregone conclusion, if everybody doesn't want to tune in just to watch you do what you do, they're just not going to tune in at all. Because they're not tuning in to watch a race. And you're not really tuning in to watch a vault competition anymore. You're just going there to watch Grant Holloway hurdle. I got to watch Grant Holloway hurdle live at the Tom Jones Memorial. Although it isn't a championship, it was still a great thing to watch. And I'm glad that I get to say I saw it live. Like, I was there. I got to watch the man do what he does. And I'm pretty sure Mondo in the vault is a similar deal. Even if you show up on a day where he doesn't happen to break the world record. Again, this is one of those moments where I really want you to let me know in the comments if I am alone in this. Because we are not just witnessing greatness. We are watching a moment in history. Because if we don't pay attention closely enough, we're going to miss it. Because we wanted to find the next Usain Bolt. The only problem was we kept looking for him in the same events. And we might just have to let that go and appreciate what we actually got before it's all gone in both events. In the sport of track and field, confidence is everything, because when you win, that is just the moment when everybody else finds out what you already knew to be true, that fast is a lifestyle. Get your fast is a lifestyle track and field gear at scarecruiting.com/shop or use the link in the description below. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.